All right, we are live. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. If this is your first time, make sure to hit that like button. Tell us where you're at. We got a consumer law attorney joining this live today. We're going to debunk some things that you've heard on social media. We're going to answer some questions, and we're going to talk specifically about credit. So make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to tell us where you're at. Where's your city? I am in North Carolina, and Subhan, that is joining us right now, is in New York City.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to New York City. We
So
are
tell us
live.
where you're at. Tell us where you're at, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. Scottsdale, California in the house. Beautiful Scottsdale. It's beautiful in Scottsdale. Here's Arizona. Hold on. But yeah, tell us where you're at, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us what city. Hit that like button when you come into the room. It gets more people in here. New Jersey in the house. We got people rolling in nice and slow, but we got them coming in. Utah, Jersey. Let's go. Detroit. Tell us where you're at. Tell us your credit score in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. There we go. There we go. You got Georgia, Ohio, Colorado. You got a lot of people coming into the room. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about consumer law. And we're going to talk about credit repair issues. I know you've seen a lot of videos on social media talking about consumer law this and consumer law that. It's like an epidemic out there, Subhan. A lot of people out there.
Honestly, I didn't know how big of an issue it was until I started following you, and then we started talking about it. Because now it's like all in my search algorithms. So I didn't really realize it's like a thing, that people are out here giving fake advice.
Oh, absolutely, man. Consumer law on social media and on how to fix your credit is a huge issue in the industry right now. Everyone's a consumer law expert. So that's why it's important to actually bring a real consumer law attorney to a live to answer all these questions. Drop where you're at. Oh, look at. I like this level of commitment. 730 credit score coming out of Colorado. There you go. I see you, Usman. There we go. Nancy's. We got Cincinnati, Fontana, New York, Long Island, Bad News, VA, ATL in the house. They still call it Hotlanta, or they don't like it when you say that? I don't know. You got North Carolina in the house, Texas, Savannah, Georgia, Egypt. Yo, this dude is from Egypt, bro. What time is it in Egypt? Is the real question. Stafford, Virginia, Augusta, Georgia, some more North Carolina, Covington. That's what I'm talking about. South Carolina, Mobile, Alabama. Let's get this room cranking so we can get it going. Excuse me.
No, we have 72 people watching, or 73, but only 14 likes. So hit that like button.
Yeah, you gotta hit that like button, man. Show me some love. Show me you want some real value here. There we go. There we go. Hit that like and that love button.
Here we go. More. Come on.
Chi-Town in the house. My bad. Chi-Town.
427 in Egypt.
There you go. 427. That's what you call credit dedication right there, bro. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Let's go. Bedford, Texas, Laredo, Texas. Another Scottsdale, Arizona, South Carolina, Mobile. Is it mobile or mobile? You got 786 in the house. That's what I'm talking about. That's amazing. Good job, everybody. Don't be afraid to talk about your credit score. It doesn't matter if you're a 405 or you're an 850. Drop those credit scores in the comment section, man. This is our community, man. You can say whatever your little heart desires because we are here to help you. We're not here to sell you anything, so don't think we came here to sell you something, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to actually help you and answer your real questions. I'm a little under the weather. My voice is a little crackly today. So just know that. 430, 713. That's what I'm talking about. Don't be afraid. Got Lake Charles, Louisiana in the house. Yo, hit those like buttons, man. What's the number one reason for people's scores to drop, Subhan? What do you think it is?
If you get a magic late payment You miss if you are on time with everything and you get a late payment, your history is 35% of your score. So if you get a late payment, if you get a late, your score is going to drop like 100 points.
Excuse me. 713, 862, 862. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. 715, 622, bouncing back from that chapter 13. You got to work on it, man. The number one reason, hold on. One business auto inquiry dropped my personal score 48 points. Absolutely cap, Joe Phipps. That's not what's going to drop your score 48 points, fam. You got to look at your credit report to see what else it was. The maximum that you can see your score drop from one hard inquiry, if you get approved, is a whopping 6 points. If you get denied, guess what? A whopping 6 points. That's the maximum that you can lose per inquiry. Now, remember, if you get multiple hard inquiries in a 30-day window, they all count as one. So when people have this theory that their scores drop tremendously because of these hard inquiries, unfortunately, they're wrong. Because that's not how it works. Joe Phipps, take a look at your utilization. The number one reason for people's score to drop is their utilization, increasing the balances on their credit cards. The moment you pass the threshold of 9% utilization, you start to bleed points. The higher the balances you increase, the more your points are going to drop, ladies and gentlemen. 775, it took work. Hey, be proud, Doug. Be proud. 590, you're on your way over there, bro. 630, you're getting there. 641, we're going to get into the sevens. That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hey, listen, we got 28 likes in the room. I'll take that. I'll take that. I appreciate that. A collection you dispute and get erased, come back after a different collection company. Yes, it can happen. It happens a lot, actually. Just because a collection gets deleted from one collection company and then it gets sold to another and it gets put on your credit report, it's 100% legal. Do you feel that's legal, Subhan?
It is.
So there's nothing illegal. People like to say, no, they can't do that. Yeah, they can, unfortunately.
They can totally do that.
Yeah. 560, 650 FICO, 783. Thank you. You're making it better. Blessings to you. Hey, Richard Ching, cheers to this. Cheers to my man right here. I'm going to take a sip of my horchata for Mr. Ching over here.
What's the horchata?
You don't know what an agua de horchata is, bro?
No idea.
Bro, you live in the capital of food. You know that, right?
Yeah, New York City is great for this stuff.
Yeah, you need to go to a Mexican restaurant and ask for an agua de horchata. Horchata is like a milk rice drink. It's amazing. Okay. We just broke down the agua de horchata. So yeah,
we're gonna grab lots of food.
Yeah, I got some videos that I want to go over before we get into all the questions, ladies and gentlemen. Keep hitting that like button. I'm gonna post up some videos.
50. Let's get to 50.
There you go. Let's get to 50, ladies and gentlemen. 50 likes. We're almost there.
How often do you get to spend the night talking to a consumer attorney about your consumer problems?
Yo, for real. And he's not charging you. He charges me by the hour. No, he doesn't. I'm just kidding.
Let's go.
Usually, hey, listen, just to talk to my trademark attorney is like, he charges me to send him an email, okay? Just to send him an email. Can't even make that up.
Seeing a lot of videos talking about this credit repair law that can delete.
Oh. Let's take it down for a second. I'm going to put this one up. This is a very interesting one, Subhan.
Sure.
You're going to enjoy this one, I think. So, everybody, I want to first off tell Subhan thank you for taking his time, because anytime someone takes their time to be on my live, they're away from their family. They're really dedicating this to their cause and what they believe in. So everybody, let's say thank you to Subhan real quick for taking the time out of his busy day. A New York City consumer law attorney is in the room taking his time. to answer your questions and go over some of this factor cap with this content. Okay, so let's
Thank
get
you
into
so
it.
much.
Yeah, man.
We got to get to 50
thing, and
likes.
I'm about
so
to
let's
give
go.
you this tea. I've been seeing a lot of
We're almost there. 50 likes. We got like 4 more likes to go. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. All
I
right,
feel
hit that
like
like button.
videos talking about this credit repair law that can delete anything, and I'm about to give you this tea right now. So first of all, the Fair Credit Reporting Act passed in the 1970s. That's number one. And the whole purpose is to protect you, the consumer, from things being reported on your credit report that you did not allow, aka privacy, your right to privacy. So if these credit reporting agencies have accounts listed on your credit report that you did not allow, that is a violation of your right to privacy, according.
Let's pause this real quick. She's talking about privacy, and I want to touch this subject. This is a very, very delicate subject for me because people always tell me, and I always see that they say, it's my privacy. Why are they doing this? The moment you signed up to get your credit score, I'm willing to bet you agreed to that privacy being put out there and communicated. And also, anytime you apply for any type of credit application, you're giving the authority for them to report this information. What are your thoughts on this, Subhan?
About allowing, it's not about allowing the credit
Okay.
reporting agencies to collect. Okay, this law gives them the permission to collect your data. Okay, the credit, and it's important to remember, the credit reporting agencies, these are private companies. Okay, so we think about like what's happening in China with the social credit score, and if you don't have a good score in China, then you can't get on a plane, you can't get on a train, you can't get on a bus. You gotta, you're like an
That's wild.
undesirable. You're an undesirable. But people don't realize, but this has already been the case in America. For credit scores have been around for a long time, and if you don't have a good credit score, then you can't get a job, you can't get a house, you can't get a car. You're like an undesirable person because if you have a bad credit score. And so, because these are private companies that are collecting your data and the government has given them the right to collect your data, then you, the consumer, have the ability to challenge what's on the report and make sure that it is accurate and fair and verifiable and complete. And so that is why there is a Fair Credit Reporting Act. This law tells the credit reporting agencies what they can do, and it also tells the consumers what they have the right to do if they want to dispute something that's inaccurate on their report. And then, if it's not corrected, what remedies they have under the law so that they can sue to correct what's wrong on their credit reports.
Okay. All right. Let me continue this video.
According to this act. So when I say accounts, I mean inquiries, collections, including medical collections, the student loans, etc. So this is exactly how you're going to dispute those accounts. You're going to take a screenshot of this, go ahead and write in all your information and.
Oh, here we go. Got 15 USC code 1681 B. So subject to subsection, consumer reporting agency may furnish a consumer report under the following circumstances and no other, in accordance with a written instruction of the consumer to whom it relates. As a consumer, I am demanding deletion of the following account. Like, what does this even look?
That they just splice up different portions of the subsection. Hold on.
It's wild, man. And people don't understand that they, just like you said, they're splicing up these things and they're putting them into letters. And people are thinking that the item is getting deleted if it does get deleted because of this specific USC code, when eOscar's system is not designed to read a USC code. It's designed to decipher what you're trying to say.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, there you go.
So this is 15 USC 1681B. This is permissible purpose. This means who has the permission, a permissible purpose, who has the right to be able to view your credit reports. And this is under the context of the potential to extend you credit or review your file for account reviews if you already have a pre-existing relationship with them. So the subsection here is subject to subsection C. Any consumer reporting agency may furnish a consumer report under the following circumstances in accordance. So just one subsection is in accordance to the written instructions of the consumer, but that's not all of it, right? There's all these other things that come along with it. They can have
all the sauce was left was left off the table.
Yeah, so there's also for employment purpose. There's also in response to a court order from the court having jurisdiction, in response to if the person has reason to believe, intends to use information in connection with the credit transaction involving the consumer, intends to use the information for employment purposes, intends to use the information in connection with the underwriting of insurance, intends to use information in connection with the determination of a consumer's eligibility for a license. There's all these subsections that give the permissible purpose of why an entity or a user under the under the Fair Credit Reporting Act may have a permissible purpose to pull your report. So I would tell you, be very careful listening to non-attorneys, and people who are giving you this advice about they don't have the right to collect. You're not allowing them to collect. That's not the case at all. These are credit reporting agencies. They're multi-billion-dollar companies. Believe me, they know what they're doing, and they have the right to collect, or they have the right to report information about a consumer.
Yep. All right, let me go back to this.
Name and go ahead and mail out these. And print your name and go ahead and mail out these letters. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment down below.
Oh, that's it. That's all she did. She gave us a template. There's let me answer this question over here from Johnny Malav. He says, I had a 757. Now, first off, I want to stress to everyone, if you're looking at your credit score on Credit Karma or from a Vantage 3.0 standpoint, it's not right. Okay. I cannot stress enough.
It's not your FICO score.
Your FICO score is the only score that matters. I want to explain that. Your FICO score is the thing that has only 5 ingredients in it that make up your credit score. Excuse me. So he says, because I have a 0 balance and I had a 226 balance on a Discovery card, I paid off the balance. Balance is 0, and my balance went the 722. Is that right? So what he's trying to say is he paid off his balance and it dropped his score. No, that's not right. There's a very small window from 0 to I believe it's 0 to 1%, and then 1 to 6%. Okay. So it's literally 0% and then 1 to 6%. There's literally a 10-point difference. Now, the 10-point difference only is if you've already received some of those 10 points. Some people may have already got those 10 points. Some people may have not got those 10 points. But literally, there's only a 10-point difference when you're looking at your score dropping from getting to a 0 balance. So understand that that's not necessarily what's going on. I hope you guys understand that. So look at your balances and when the balances report, because if the balances have not reported properly, that could be another issue that you're having. Maybe another card reported a balance that you were not expecting, and that dropped your score most likely. So I hope that helps. Let's go on to the next video that I got over here. Go ahead and submit some of your questions, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section. So once I'm done going through these and in the middle of them, I can go ahead and answer them. All right. Yeah, just post your questions in the actual comment section. Don't be afraid. Tell us where you're at. If you're just coming into the room, tell us where you're at, where you're from, and what your credit score is. Don't be afraid to tell us if you have a 405 or a 390. I've seen it before because we're all working on getting to where we need to go to, okay? This is a safe space. We're all here to help each other. And that's what Subhan is here for today. So, and me too. Imagine that. Here we go. This is a good one. The good old I could delete anything.
There's already a red flag when it says you can delete literally everything, anything on your report.
Yep, that's right.
I look stressed is because I am. I just found out that you can delete anything off your credit report. Your old addresses, your collections, your charge-offs, your repos, your medical debt, your birth date. You can have just your year show up. Old phone numbers. You want them to stop calling you? Delete your phone number. So I'm about to send a personal info update letter. If you don't know what that means, that's you just updating the credit reporting agencies and telling them like, hey, this is my address, not these. Stop sending something to these ones. Now, I'm putting my letter together. Usually I just send it off. But I was like, I wonder if I can get paid for these being a violation. Mind you, I've already fixed my Equifax and my Experian, but I wanted to try something different for TransUnion. I left TransUnion alone so that way I can experiment on it. Now, I'm going to experiment on it. So boom, I know I can get paid $1,000 per inquiry that I get removed, right? Right. Now, I was thinking.
Let's stop it right here. The fact that she's like capping so hard, saying that she's going to get $1,000 for every inquiry that she gets deleted from her credit report is just preposterous. Okay, I couldn't even say it right the first time.
It's unfortunate that people say all kinds of things to try to get likes or sell their court.
Oh yeah, I mean literally. But the fact that people think that getting $1,000 from a violation, is it truly a violation? Because at the end of the day, you're saying you're going to delete these inquiries. What are you going to do when you go to court and they show up with the actual application that you signed for?
Yeah.
You check the little box off. So you got to be able to prove it and get an attorney that's going to take the case. Even if you take them to small claims court, you think a small claims is going to give
Inquiry cases are not good unless they're usually coupled with something else or they're related to identity theft, which again, they're coupled with identity theft. So usually the right inquiry case is related to is paired with something else. This isn't right. She's just making this stuff up.
Basically, let's finish listening to the rest.
Can I do that for an old job, an old address, an old P.O. box, or whatever? So I start looking at the law. Boom. 1681A definition. This is basically just outlines the definitions of what can and cannot be on a report, and if it is, this is what the definition of that thing.
Isn't that what we just looked at?
No, so 1681A is definitions, not.
Oh, we were looking at B, right?
Yeah, but let me pull this up. Definitions. It just says like, man. Let's see here if you can see. It just says. The term person means, any individual. So that's not how you're going to get stuff removed off the report. This is just telling you, what a consumer reporting agency is. Like investigative consumer report. The term consumer reporting agency means any person who, for money, dues, or any a cooperative nonprofit basis, regularly engages or in whole or in part of assembling or evaluating consumer credit information or other information on consumers for the purpose of furnishing reports to third parties. This is literally what the law is and who these people are. So back to the other thing about they don't have permission. This is literally what they're telling you that this law is about. Like it's literally the law that they can do it.
Yeah, basically. All right. We got a really good question here from Dawn Abercrombie. So Dawn says, how much can your credit score drop after paying off a 5-year auto loan? This is a really good question. What I've seen historically is people think that paying off an auto loan or a personal loan or student loans, anything that's an installment loan, people think it's going to improve their credit score. The unfortunate truth here, ladies and gentlemen, is the one thing that controls your credit score from going up and down, the main one is going to be utilization. And then that's 30% of your credit score. 35% of your credit score is payment history. So making sure you get on-time payments. But when you actually pay off a car loan, you're closing the account. That has a negative impact on your credit score because the account closed. How many points can it drop? We don't know because every situation is different on every credit profile. But we know for a fact, the moment it closes, it's going to have a negative impact, dropping the credit score, unfortunately. Now, usually, we see a score rebound within 6 to 9 months, sometimes 12, sometimes 3. There's a huge variable here that a lot of people don't understand. You can't really just generalize it. And it could be 20 points, 30 points, 10 points, 5 points. Everyone's going to be different. But understand, anytime you pay off an actual installment type of credit, it's going to have a negative impact. The same thing if you close a credit card. It's going to have some type of negative impact because you're closing it. But what it will help is reduce your debt to income ratio. So if you're trying to apply for a home, guess what? Now you don't have that debt of that car loan on your credit report, and you're going to look more lendable to an actual mortgage company because you don't have very much debt. So your debt to income ratio goes down, and it will recover after a while. So I hope that helps with the answer there.
I don't know if you could hear my daughter.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. It's like, Dad.
Mama.
She's like, let me in. Hello. All right. Here we go. Link is always going to be in the description if you're looking for some help, guys. Oh, look at there she is. A little bit. the little Tariq. If you got any other questions, drop them in the comments section, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're here to help. Answer all your crazy questions. If we can't answer them, I'll find a consumer attorney that can. Oh, look, he's right there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let me find another one.
Okay, it's reading.
That are gonna guarantee.
All right, here we go. It automatically starts off.
It automatically always starts like this. 5 laws to wipe everything off your report. I'm gonna clean your entire credit report.
There we go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's get it.
Guarantee that you can get anything removed off your credit report.
Well, first off, the moment anyone's saying guaranteed in credit repair is immediately illegal. A lot of people want to have a guarantee. What is the guarantee you'll get this off my credit report? And unfortunately, there are companies out there that do give guarantees, and it's actually illegal because you can't guarantee something when you don't control the outcome. You don't control what the credit bureaus do. You don't control what they say. All you control is a piece of letter that you're going to send on behalf of your clients as a credit repair organization. That's it. So making the claim that guaranteed to delete anything.
The consumer should be involved in the process, knowing exactly what's happening.
Absolutely.
Starting off with law number 1.
Here we go. Law number 1, 15 U.S. Code.
15 U.S. Code 1681, Section 602A.
Do you got this one, bro?
Yeah. 1681. Okay. 602A. Okay. What are you talking about? Keep going.
States that you have the right to privacy. Law number 2, 15.
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Privacy.
That one.
If we're all paying attention here, everyone's leading with the question of privacy. Privacy. This is all about your privacy. They're all regurgitating the same information. Imagine that.
15 U.S. Code 1681, Section 602A, Section 2. It states that a consumer reporting agency cannot furnish any data on your report without your written instructions.
Oh, dude. Do you want to pull that one up?
Like,
While you're looking that up, I'm going to answer this question. This is a good question. Oh, well, there's two good questions. When you refinance an installment loan, how much of an impact will that have? That's a very good question. Normally, when you refinance an installment loan, they're going to close that account and they're going to reopen a new one. So some people may see some very slight impact, and some other people may see no impact because you're closing one account but replacing it with another. It's kind of like a good example is you trade in a car, so that loan gets paid off, and then another one gets opened and replaces it. So sometimes people won't see an impact. It's really going to vary on your credit file. Now the next question from Maria is: they still have a paid off car loan on my credit report. Any closed account, when it's paid in full and it's in good standing, can stay on your credit report for up to 10 years. That is not negatively impacting you. As a matter of fact, it's helping your credit profile because guess what? There's positive payment history that's attached to it. And it showed that it's paid on time and as agreed, which is what you want for your credit profile. A lot of people think that a paid off car loan or a closed account is a negative thing and they want it off their credit reports. In fact, you don't. Because if you take that off your credit report, you're ripping off all that positive payment history, hurting your credit. So it's perfectly fine for it to actually report that. I hope that helps.
I shared my screen. So he totally misquotes 602, which is part of 1681A. It's the beginning portions of what the FCRA was about, and it says Congress makes the following findings: that the banking system is dependent on credit reports, blah blah blah. That it's an elaborate mechanism developed for investigating and creditworthiness. That the consumer reporting agencies have assumed a vital role in assembling credit information, and there's a need to ensure that their credit reporting agencies exercise their grave responsibilities with fairness, impartiality, and respect, and they have to have reasonable procedures. It says nothing about whether they have permission or they have to get your consent to report something on your credit.
Just another made-up law, basically.
It's just they just miscite things and make it up so that they appear to be the guru.
Correct. Let me answer this other question right here. From Cato. I have an old Capital One account that they canceled for weird reason, and I moved. Also, the location never matched my ID. That doesn't matter. You still owe the debt, okay? When it doesn't match your ID. Okay, should I pay immediate to avoid late payments or wait until the 188 mark to get it negotiated down? So this thought process is what really, really bothers me because people think that, oh, who cares? I'm not going to pay it, right? So then I could just negotiate down the amount. It's going to destroy your credit score. Every late payment, you're going to get a 30-day, a 60. Let me go ahead and move this. You're going to get a 30-day, a 60, a 90, a 120, and then guess what? A 180. That's 5 different late payments that are going to attack your credit profile and destroy it. And then it's going to turn into a charge-off, dropping your score even more. So you have 6 different ways that your score is going to be attacked. You tell me, should you pay it? Yes, of course you should pay it. If you value your credit score and you don't want it to drop, you should definitely pay it. If an account closes, you still owe the money and you should still pay it because even if it's closed, you can still pay down that balance and keep the account in good standing and the relationship in good standing, and you don't have a derogatory mark on your credit report. Because now, if it turns into a charge-off, now you have to figure out how you're going to get that charge-off off the credit report because now it's damaging your credit file for 7 years from the first date of delinquency.
So some people come to us and have already been in debt for a long time. And for those people, debt settlement is an option, and that's something to consider. But it should be limited to people who are already late or who already dealt with some sort of hardship, and not just as a tactic, because people don't realize the harmful consequences that will go along with the accounts falling further and further behind on the credit reports.
Yeah, it's a very lifelong lasting effect when your account goes into negative standing and you get the late payments. So people think that they can use the FCRA to get something deleted. It's not how it works.
I feel bad. I just tricked my 2-year-old to leave.
There's some candy in the other room.
Yeah, I told her to take something.
But yeah, so yeah, that's a good question. But yeah, I hope that answers. Let me see. I have a charge on my credit report. I'm trying to get it off sooner. People always ask me this question. This is a good one right here. I have a charge off on my credit report. It's going to come off next year. Should I even bother? You're going to have to ask yourself that question. Like, is it worth you investing the money to try to go after it? It's up to you. Because it's going to fall off in a year. Are you trying to get a house? Are you trying to get some credit cards? What is your real goal when you're trying to go after an issue with your credit reports? Because at the end of the day, we all have to remember the golden rule: nobody controls a deletion except for the credit reporting agencies, or a lawsuit if there's an avenue for that, But it's not always necessarily the case. So don't count your chickens, don't count your eggs before the chicken lays eggs. What is it?
Don't count your eggs before they hatch.
Yeah, don't catch your egg. That was horrible. I chopped that one up really horribly. My wife is watching and she's like devastated right now. There we go.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch. There you go.
Yeah, don't count your chickens before they hatch. There you go. So I got another good one. I got a lot of goodies in my bag over here, man. I feel like I could always find these videos no matter where I go. This is a really good one. This one isn't a bad one.
The debt collector.
So this isn't a crazy bad one, but it's a good title, and I want to ask a question. I've never asked Subhan this question, so he was not prepped for this. Just know this, ladies and gentlemen.
This is what you can say to help get that collection account off your credit report. The first thing you should tell them is that this call is being recorded, as is your right to record the call. The second thing you should tell them is that you're revoking consent for them to contact you further. After this, they can only contact you via mail. And the last thing you should tell them is to please validate this debt, for them to validate that you legally owe them anything. Debt collectors hate dealing with an educated consumer.
All right, let's stop it right there. I'm going to back it up here a second.
You legally owe them. Please validate this debt.
Please validate this debt. The real question is, what is the actual barrier, or what is the requirement to show that you legally own this debt? In my
you're asking what is quote unquote validation?
There you go. People like to say that a statement isn't validation. People like to say that ownership of the debt isn't validation, that you need to show the original contract. I personally believe that's not true. The
validation just means is they put it on a piece of paper that you owe this money. It could be very basic. It does not have a thing.
It doesn't have a requirement. Is that the best way of saying it?
Yeah.
There's no required form of validation. Now, I like to request something special called the purchase agreement. And the reason why I request the purchase agreement is because I want to see that the debt collector legally owns the debt. Because in the state of North Carolina, they require that there is an actual legal transfer of debt, that there's a contract between the original the original creditor and the debt collector, showing that the debt was transferred to the debt collector.
A chain of title.
Huh?
A chain of title.
There you go, a chain of title. If it doesn't exist, then how do we know that the debt collector truly owns it?
Yep.
That's my favorite thing to ask. I don't ask for proof with the wet signature. I don't ask for the original contract. This to me, that's a huge waste of time. And you have to ask yourself this question: do I really owe this debt? And if I do validation, I'm wasting 30 days. So if you're going to validate the debt and you're not going to do it properly and you do owe the debt, then what are we really doing? Right? What are your thoughts on debt validation, Subhan?
They can put it on a piece of paper. New York also is very good at being able to ask for additional documents. And somebody asked, "What am I eating?" Eating roasted grams. These are amazing. This is a snack, and they look like this. They're a small little ball type snack. It's great. But they can just put on a piece of paper that that is valid. I would also in New York. You can also ask for the chain of title, and so I would ask for that. You know, there's a really good letter out there that is I think New York state compliant. New York gives you a bunch of things that you're able to ask for.
Let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts on when a consumer asks for the original purchase agreement and there's a law office involved? It's a law office that does collections, and they say that's private information and it's not required, or it's not something valid to even ask for.
What did you say again?
Okay. Let's say a law office owns a collection company. There's a lot of law offices that do collections, right?
Yeah.
And they're sending collection letters to a consumer. The consumer asks for the original purchase agreement. In the response from the law firm, they say that's private information that's not going to be disclosed.
Yeah, it depends on your state. In New York, that chain of title is something you can request. In other states, they may not be the case, and for validation purposes, that's a tough thing. If you want to challenge the debt now, you can request this. Chain of title or a forward flow agreement, particularly if it's already in a lawsuit where they're suing you for a debt. You can request certain documents that most likely they won't have or they won't want to produce to you, and then that could be a good cause for getting something dismissed.
Got you. So, Gabe is pestering me over here about his question. I'm going to answer it. He's asking, can anything be deleted using the FCRAs? I want to explain that everything has the chance to be deleted. I'm not going to sit here on a live and say, yeah, it's going to be deleted because you're using the FCRA to get things deleted. Like, no, I'm not going to say that because I don't know or control what happens. At the end of the day, everything has the potential to be deleted. How and if, we don't know. I mean, that's just a fact. So I hope that that helps. There's a really good question in here from Don Abercrombie. He said, Lexington law firm, what do people who have used them, basically the people that use them, what are they supposed to do? Are they entitled to their money back? I
think there's something about that coming out. I think where they agreed to pay like $3 billion or something.
So they did settle it, but it hasn't been completely closed yet. And they haven't disclosed how much is going to go back to consumers. Listen, this is a really touchy subject for me because it really pisses me off. What happens is the CFPB takes that money and puts it into their fund. And this is how they fund these lawsuits. Because at the end of the day, lawsuits are very expensive. Am I right, Subhan?
Very expensive. Very expensive.
They take a lot of manpower and a lot of hours to build a case. So they take that money that's supposed to go to consumers and they put it into the CFPB fund. A great example is the Portfolio Recoveries lawsuit. That was a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And they claimed that there was going to be a consumer fund. The consumer fund hasn't even been posted yet. Because I made an announcement about that specific fund the moment it went live, maybe a week after, if that, and it's not even present up there yet. So unfortunately, we're not going to know until the full case has been closed, right, Subhan?
Very recently, I was contacted by an old friend, and he told me he was contacted by someone, someone within the government, and that they asked him for some details, and when he responded, they were like he was just confused by the complete sheer incompetence of uh, of the government official. So I don't put too much hope in the government. I think that the government people are very nice. And don't get me wrong, I have to say that they're nice, or else what happens. Uh, but I love America. I would never kill myself. Uh, but they're so sheerly incompetent, but half the time. So I don't
Yeah,
really have too much.
it's unfortunate because we won't know until the
You know,
case.
it's funny, and I can kind of bring this up here. And I met the head of the CFPB. This was back in April, May, late May, April, right? And um, I was talking to him about the fear that the government is going to try to ban cash. And the reason is because the in Europe they've already announced. Christine Lagarde, the head of the European Central Bank, has said that transactions that are done in cash of more than $1,000 are suspect for money laundering purposes. And I think
What?
that, yeah, and I think that the government very soon is going to be making an attempt to try to ban cash and push this CBDC, this central bank digital currency. And I saw him at this conference, and I talked to him about it, and I said, look, I represent a lot of immigrants and consumers and people who aren't necessarily uh, on good terms with banks or the credit card companies. And to them, cash is very, very important. And I'm worried that you guys are going to ban cash. And he's like, no, 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 I don't think so. But these guys, they have no idea what's coming, and they're printing unlimited amounts of money. And this is where I kind of talk about Bitcoin. But buy Bitcoin.
They a lot of people, drop it in the comment section. Tell me where you're from, ladies and gentlemen. If you just came to the live, make sure you tell us what your credit score is. We're here to help.
We only have 66 likes, so you got to get this likes up, everybody. Come on.
Yeah, let's get the likes up. Hey, we're definitely way higher than we were when we first started. Okay.
Yeah, we got to get to 100 though. Let's try to get to 100 before we.
Absolutely, 100 likes in the house. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. So, on the whole thing of digital currency, Fed now. There's a lot of misconception about Fed now and how it operates, and but at the end of the day, the central digital currency has already been in the works for a while now, from all these different countries. So I'm not going to sit here and try to fear monger and say that the cash is going away, but eventually you can't keep printing money forever, right? That's
Cash,
really how it goes.
cash. I think there will always be a demand for cash. I mean, I think it's very possible that the value of cash goes up. But actually, in New York City, you'll see that you get cash discounts at places. So there's a lot of businesses that will give you 10% off if you pay in cash.
That's wild, right? That
Yeah,
definitely ain't happening in North Carolina.
because businesses are happy taking cash. So
It's interesting.
I'm happy taking cash. I'll tell you that. But I don't. I sue the credit reporting agency, so most of my money comes from from banks and checks and stuff. So I don't get cash, but if I did, I'd be happy taking cash.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. Someone said in the comment, I've seen businesses charge for you paying cash. Yeah, I saw that too in some small stores in North Carolina, I'm like, yo, this is kind of wild. Like, you're gonna charge me more for cash? Like what?
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's real.
In New York, you get a discount.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, drop some questions in the comment section. You got some issues with your credit score. You got some issues with some collections. You got some issues with some charge-offs. Do you have any issues that you want to talk about? Said some don't take cash here. That's right. A lot of places aren't taking cash anymore. We have these like little local town gatherings, and a lot of them. Or no, I'll give you a great example.
You see, they are trying to kill cash.
But I'll be honest with you. I don't feel safe carrying around cash. Like the only reason why I carry cash. Let me show you guys my wallet. This is my wallet with my credit cards, and I have some cash on the back of it, only for tipping or crazy situations where I need cash, because it's very, very rare if I ever need cash.
I love cash.
Attorneys always
you know
love
why?
cash.
You know why? Because cash is money. And when you do a credit card transaction, all of that is being monitored. And when you're dealing in cash, not that I'm dealing that much in cash, but because I don't, I get paid by the credit reporting agencies, so I don't get that much cash. But when I do have cash, when I withdraw money from my bank, my personal bank account, and I use it, I love cash because cash is money. Everything else, actually, you will see if you start using cash, you'll notice that you start spending a lot less money. Because every time because when you swipe, you just on. They got the tap, they got the phone, it's gone. There's no one there. When you got a cash in your pocket, you're like, oh man, and do I really want to give this person $20? No, I'm good. I'll just skip it. And I'm from New York City. We're used to the hustle. That's how it works.
Yeah. We have a good question here. Are credit card companies able to lower your limits off of wrong information? At the end of the day, people have a really hard time understanding that the credit card company controls everything on that credit card. That's just how it is. If they feel that for whatever reason you are a high risk or something has gone wrong, your credit scores drop, your credit utilization has gone up, they can lower your limits. They don't really need a reason.
Right now it's happening a lot because a lot of people who had high balances, what they're finding is they think, okay, if I pay down my credit card, my utilization will go down. No, if you pay down your credit card, your credit limit will go down with some people because the credit card companies realize that the economy is heading into a recession and they're worried about getting paid back just as much as everybody else. And so there's the highest amount of credit card delinquencies in the last 10 years since the Great Recession is now. So it's happening.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I've got a really great story here. I got to redact some things real quick because it's got some personal information. I want to make sure that it's not there real quick. I had a great story today from a client who followed the process that I instructed him to, but he has a weird situation where he has an actual credit card limit on a gold card. Now, a gold card is a charge card, right?
Yeah.
Historically, the gold card has been known as a charge card. Okay. So I thought it was crazy. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, that's not how it works. He's like, no, dude. He's like, my credit utilization went up and the actual credit card company put a limit on my business credit card. And I said, well, the sad truth is they control everything about your credit card. So I said, send me a screenshot of your American Express account. I want to see that you know exactly what you're talking about because I've never seen anything like this. So let me put it up here in a second. 1 second. Let me make sure everything's good on his information. Here we go. I want to put it up on screen. So this is a reality check for everyone out there that big banks are not playing anymore. They just aren't. If they feel there's something wrong going on with your account, they do in fact control what can and cannot happen. So if they want to lower your limits, then they're going to do that. That's just how it is, unfortunately. I got to get rid of some of these things that are on the stage. There we go. So a lot of people just don't understand that these banks control it at the end of the day. You're at their mercy. So if you're carrying high utilization, they can choose to drop your score if they want to, unfortunately. And there's really like, what can you really do about that, right? Right, Subhan?
Right.
I don't know why, but this recent one's not coming up on my. I don't know why. So I guess I can't show it. It's not letting me show it. But basically, the American Express Gold business card, this client has a limit on it, which is crazy. I've never seen this, and I don't know if this is going to mean bad things for the gold cards for the business side. Now, the good thing is reporting to the business side, not the personal side. So his score's not seeing any issues from it. But at the end of the day, he has a credit limit on a gold card. A gold card is supposed to have no preset spending limit. So that means as you use the card, it's going to learn what your spending habits are to actually give you the ability to use a certain amount of money. And there's something called spending power with an American Express charge card.
Yeah.
The more you spend, the more you use, the more spending power you're going to have. That's just how the cookie crumbles. But unfortunately, we don't know what this means for the American Express world.
American Express is going through a lot of changes because they're having a hard time because since the pandemic, everybody's been getting their card, and the same thing is true with Delta. Delta just changed their points policy and all kinds of stuff, and American Express and Delta are like the premium partners, and so they're dealing with all kinds of challenges because the too many people have their cards. So if you go to the airport and you're trying to use the American Express lounge, like half the time it's full.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to go ahead and interject on you on there. It really depends on when you're going, because I travel all across the United States from coast to coast, and I try to travel early in the morning. Like when you're trying to travel at peak times, these lounges are going to be packed. And I think that people that travel or don't travel enough don't plan their trip accordingly. Now, I'm not saying like you should plan it to, be able to go into the lounges. But as an example, if I can get on a plane at 6 o'clock in the morning, like sometimes the lounge isn't even open at 6 o'clock in the morning, So I don't get to enjoy the breakfast lounge, I guess you could say. I think some of them open at 6 and some of them don't. But if I get to the airport at 5 o'clock and my flight leaves at 6:15, like I'm not going to go to the lounge,
I fly Delta's my preferred airline, so the Delta Sky Clubs they're open. Their breakfast is incredible.
Oh, it is. I love it.
I love Delta Sky Clubs more than the Amex lounges.
Absolutely.
They have better food. They have better service. I think Don's right. Delta CEO did announce that they're going to make some changes back because there's such a backlash.
Taking those steps back.
Yeah, I actually just today I applied. JetBlue has they're offering status match to Delta people because they're trying to get the Delta people to switch over.
Trying to get that Delta JetBlue Mint.
Yeah, so
yep.
You get Mosaic 1 if you have or whatever you can get JetBlue status, and now Alaska Airlines just did a Delta Sky Miles match. And Alaska is partnered with American on the One World Alliance. So you could be flying internationally. If you had Delta status, you could be, get status match. And but you have to open the credit cards for these people. So you get the JetBlue card or the Alaska card, and you'll get status until the end of next year, which is...
Yeah, the crazy thing to me is like these people that are chasing status because, It doesn't get you anything different in the lounge. It doesn't get you priority when you're trying to book flights. Like they say it does, but I don't believe it. I'll be honest with you.
I'm a medallion. I have silver medallion, so I'm not like super there. But I haven't. I've flown 18 times this year on Delta on like single United things. And which one is that?
The Delta Sky Mile, the reserve, the business reserve.
Oh, nice.
I love this.
I thought it was purple.
It is, but this is the one that is actually made of the metal from the plane.
Oh wow! I'm gonna upgrade just to get the card.
So it may not be available anymore, but they only had it available for a limited time, where you can switch your purple reserve one to this one. That's actually it actually tells me what plane it was from. Hold on, let me tell you. I gotta show. It's a Boeing 747-51. It flew 68 million miles. Okay, and its last flight was in 2017.
I think I'm gonna get the upgrade.
So I love this card because this is automatic entry to the lounge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the whole status thing to me is kind of like, it's kind of pointless, because if you have the right credit card, you're gonna get in the lounge. And
it's not only about the lounge, right? It's like sometimes I haven't gotten upgraded to business. So I'm a Comfort Plus person. I like Comfort Plus, but I want to start getting upgraded to business. I should.
Did you know about the reserve card, that every year when you have the business reserve Delta, you get a free companion flight?
Yeah. Same thing with the platinum version. I have the platinum version.
Yeah. But this one will go all the way up to first class. Does the platinum do first class ticket also?
No, it does up to comfort.
Yeah. So the reserve will match a business first class ticket. So that's the reason why I got it, because riding first class is business class, lay flat bed. I'll take that every day.
Right now they're offering 110,000 miles bonus for signing up.
Yep. It's amazing. So drop it in the questions, ladies and gentlemen. What credit cards do you guys want me to talk about? I can drop some quick gems about specific credit cards. If you have a Capital One credit card out there, when was the last time you actually upgraded your Capital One credit card? And did you know it's possible that you can upgrade your credit card with Capital One with no hard inquiry? You keep the same account, they just switch the product out and get you a better credit card if you're up for an upgrade. There we go. A lot of people didn't know that, man. If you have a Capital One credit card, drop it in the comment section. I got a Capital One. I know there's some Capital One owners out there. This is a credit channel. Everyone's got a Capital One credit card. Do you have a Capital One credit card, Subhan?
No, I don't. I used to though. Honestly, I'll tell you, for myself, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 personal cards. That's it. I have 2 business cards, and that's it. And honestly, I don't even use credit. Even though I'm a credit lawyer, I don't really use credit. I buy everything on cash. Muslims were very much into cash, and so I like cash too. But I don't really use my credit that much. I should.
But this brings a really good topic, Subhan. You don't have to have a lot of credit cards to have a good credit score.
Yeah, my score is over 800.
Yeah, so you don't have to have a lot of credit
cards.
I've
had for 15 years.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna put this link in the comment section. It's the Capital One upgrade page. So if you have a Capital One credit card and you're trying to upgrade from a secured card, a Quicksilver, to maybe a Venture One, Venture X, you can use that link right there. You log into the Capital One site with your Capital One account, and then you choose the card that you want to upgrade. If it's available, they'll tell you which cards you are available to upgrade. And if you do decide to upgrade it, there's no hard inquiry to upgrade your Capital One credit card. Hope that helps everyone. Let me see. Do you have any case law that you want to talk about today, Subhan?
I did, but we're already at the 1 hour mark. So
Oh, we
I think
are. Oh, okay, never mind.
we'll skip it today, but we'll talk
Definitely.
next time. Next time we'll talk about this case, Chadoff.
Okay.
And I already had it pulled up here, but we'll talk about Chadoff next time.
Okay.
I think that's a really good case to talk about, and I'm sure people would appreciate it. But it's going to take time to talk about it because it's a long.
Everyone, absolutely. Everyone on YouTube, please pay attention. I'm going to start doing more lives from my actual cell phone. There's a new feature that was given to me because I'm in a YouTube community that we could do vertical lives. So like normally on YouTube, you can only do a horizontal live like this. But now on YouTube, I'm going to have the opportunity. I could do a live from my phone in
Wow.
vertical mode. Yeah. It's not released to everyone on YouTube yet, but I'm in the beta testing for the next 90 days. So
Wow.
that's gonna be fun. So yeah, so thank you everyone that came to the live. If everyone can please say thank you to Subhan for taking his time out.
Thank you. I don't know why I just did that. But.
It's the prayer hands, bro. It's the prayer hands. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, everyone. It's been a great night. I hope everyone has learned a lot. The laws are your friends, but only you should go to real people who are real teachers. There's a lot of fake teachers out there. Those of you who have read Robert Kiyosaki's book "Fake," it's a good book to read. Fake teachers, fake assets, buy Bitcoin.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming to the live, and make sure to subscribe and like. Talk to you guys later.
Take care.